Okay, in today's video, we're going to be taking a walk around the local Salvation Army store. They had some music playing in the background, so I wasn't able to use the natural sound from the camera. So coming up the main aisle here, we come back to the sporting goods section, and as you can see on the shelves here, there's some helmets and bags, stuff like that. Nothing really great to look at. Some of the older tennis rackets I ended up checking on before I left the store on the phone, and none of them seemed to be worth enough money to make it worth my while. They had torn handles and stuff like that. So I'm just going down the aisle here, trying to look and see if anything's worth buying. I don't do a whole lot of thrifting, I'm trying to get more into it here. So a good way to do it is just kind of walk around the store, get the lay of the land, so to say, and take a look at some of the products as you walk by them and see them. So here's some phone cases, some photo paper, stuff like that. Stuff that's real small. It's relatively large for shipping, so it's a little on the expensive side due to the weight and everything, so I decided to skip all of this stuff here. Looking at the top shelf, there were some topicals, things like that, a couple of vases, stuff like that. It was kind of big and bulky, wasn't quite sure if it had any value to it, didn't look like it did, and it was kind of scuffed up. Same with the light bulbs there, they're all kind of mishmash of light bulbs and not much of a set or anything, so decided to keep going down the aisle here. I did see this how to rob a bank game here, and I'll camera go down to it in a second here. Looked kind of interesting, kind of fun, thought you could have some fun with it, but decided to move on. So here I was looking at something on the top shelf and didn't do a very good job of getting the camera up there for you guys, so I'll try and do a better job of that in the future. But then as I came up here, there was what appeared to be a little bit of a floating head in front of me, which was kind of odd. I don't know why there was. It scratched its face and then it kind of went away. So then I moved past the clothing and everything. This store's got very high prices on clothing and linens and stuff like that, so I didn't even really bother looking. I probably should have in retrospect, but I can do that next time as this one's only a few minutes from the house. So I was making my way slowly back to electronics, going by, and I saw some metal lunch boxes. Decided to check them out on the phone. The Starsky and Hutch one was only going for about 10 or 11 bucks on eBay, and with the size and shipping and everything, wouldn't really have been worth it. Same thing with the Despicable Me lunchbox and the Princess DVD set in the background. And that's the soccer one there that I decided to put back ultimately. So now I'm kind of going back towards the miscellaneous section. It's got some remotes and stuff, and saw a Sonos bridge. That as well was not going for very much money. I think like 16, 17 bucks, and with how heavy it was, it'd be very hard to ship. Then checked out a couple of clock radios as well, but none of those were worth much either, so it was pretty much a big strikeout on this trip, but there's some more interesting stuff that I look at in a little bit here. So Xbox memory cards, some Belkin stuff, an old Xbox remote. Nothing with the pricing that it was at was really worth buying. There was a digital camera there, but was missing the memory stick and the charger, so it would cost too much to make it something worth selling. And here I am checking out the Sonos again, just to see. This is before I looked at it on the phone, trying to find the model number and everything else, make sure all the stuff was in there, which it was. But again, it was just too expensive and not worth enough to really be worth the while. So then I kept going down, looking at some of these clocks and everything. Nothing really caught my eye, so decided to keep going. There was a Atari flashback console up here that I looked at, and right past this lady here, but it was missing a couple of the pieces to make it complete, and I didn't want to have to spend any more money on it. Same with the neat receipt scanner here. It was a Mac only version, and it also was just flopping around in the box, so I don't know what the condition of it was, and I didn't want to take a risk with some delicate electronics. Took a look at the hearing aids, but seemed to me like that's something that wasn't quite sure if people would buy used. I wanted to go home and take a look at that, and actually until I saw this, forgot that I was supposed to look at that, so I'm sure they're still there, so I'll take a look after I make this video. Moving on toward the electronics, they had a Sony stereo, some small speakers, but it wasn't really anything special, wasn't worth any money. Again, with the weight and shipping and having to go through the bubble wrap and everything, it's just not worthwhile unless it's going to make some decent money. Same thing with the little boom boxes and stuff like that. Nothing great, but there's plenty of stuff to look at here. So I like to come through the store every once in a while. I've gotten a couple things here, but not on this trip. There was a DVD VCR combo back there I ended up looking at a little bit later, but it too was missing a bunch of stuff and had a big dent and a hole in the front of it, so I decided to pass. Wasn't really looking at, I didn't have a lot of time, so I didn't want to really scan a lot of books on this trip, but they do have hardcover books for, I think they're $1.95 normally, and then they go down to about $1 on certain, on Tuesdays, I believe it is, so I'll probably go back on a Tuesday and do some book scanning. And that's pretty much it. I mean, we're about to wrap up here. There was a Quaker Oats tin there that I looked up that wasn't worth too much money either. It looked like it was in really good shape, though. It only had a couple little nicks on it. You'll see it in the bottom right of the camera. I didn't do a good job with this. It's first time walking through a store with the camera rolling, so I apologize. But anyway, thanks for watching this video, and we'll have more coming to you very soon. Thanks again.